Look at you. Fucking office man.
With air conditioning. I got a couch.
Hell yeah, brother.
I think I want to get myself like some crystal for my whiskeys.
Oh, you got to get those the ice blocks.
Yeah.
Not like the solid metal ones.
You chip them off. Oh no, I have those in the freezer, but then I got to get a freezer in here. It's
oh, God forbid. You make a nice office.
Yeah.
Be Adam's Driveshaft next time you know it.
I mean that's what I want to do with the loft. That's why I put the old L desk there. Because that can be like a whole bar, kitchen counter setup.
Bar, put a green screen up so we can actually record decent podcasts. What's up, guys? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Dirt Drive Podcast. This week, it's Tom and I, and we are in the shop again.
Yeah.
We haven't left from last week.
No, get it right. We're in my office.
Oh, Tom has an office now.
I have an office. You know what's crazy?
Your office square footage is about the same square footage as your last shop. It's fucking big in here.
Yeah. This is only my second true office. And the first office I had was my first job at the museum.
Was it a padded cubicle?
It was a closet, but it was still an office.
Hey, so you ended up coming out of the closet.
Hey.
You're a step ahead of me because my first official office is a fucking padded cubicle, and it's not the most fun thing I've ever had.
Well, that's what you get for working for the government.
That's what you get when you work for the government. Whoa.
Please don't do that again.
Oh, I'm a good singer. We'll let you guys decide. Did I fucking nail that or did I nail that?
And minus 15 followers.
God damn it. Speaking of that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share it anywhere you listen. We appreciate you for listening. We're growing every week. We're growing on YouTube. We keep talking about YouTube. Everything gets posted to YouTube. The podcasts do just in audio format. But it is there. If you don't listen there, just head over there and hit subscribe. It helps the algorithm. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know.
We do want to do videos. Like if you go to YouTube, you'll notice that we're missing episode 108, which was our Moab episode. I think I don't know the numbers. I have intentions to layer all of our pictures and videos over the audio from that episode. I just haven't had time to do it. It'll probably by the time episode 125 comes out, I may have done it.
It'd be a nice Christmas present to the
it would be.
To the followers.
Go back and watch all of our video or watch our video.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Remember this from 8 months ago?
Honestly, that's probably the time frame for it.
Yeah, that works.
But it is there, and we appreciate the support there too.
Join the Dirt Nerds Off-Road Forum on Facebook. If you're
I can
on
tell you
Facebook.
from looking at the analytics, a lot of the people that listen to the show don't subscribe to the show. We're on like all the different podcast platforms, whether it be Spotify or Apple Podcast or YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button. It, like I said, it helps everything else out, and it brings us.
Leave us a basic review. Nothing crazy. Let us know that you left a review, and we'll send you some stickers. I know we have a few to send out. I've had a couple people reach out.
Hell yeah, brother. So. Yeah, and I have yet to send those, but hopefully by the time this comes out, I sent them.
Yep.
Speaking of YouTube, if you guys follow YouTube, you'll see follow all of the automotive YouTube. You'll see the drama that just happened.
Yeah, it's such an interesting transition. Again, if you're in the podcast sphere, the Grindhard Plumbing Co. boys have their podcast Sent and Bent.
Yeah.
Did you see the one they just did with Dave Chappelle, Dirthead Dave?
I need to watch I haven't watched their podcast yet.
It's one you can listen to. But
I turn them on at work, and I I've actually I understand the watching the podcast thing now, because I'll turn it on at work while I'm like reviewing a set of plans. Because I'll have my phone sitting against my computer screen, and I'll glance down at it and just watch them talk.
A big topic they talked about was Dirt Every Day ending.
Yeah.
And just kind of what that looked like and what that process was. And it's an interesting, for me at least, it was interesting timing. I don't think it was on purpose at all, but with all the stuff that's going on with the influencer side of it in the automotive sphere with Donut and Hoonigan and all the other corporate buyouts, we'll call it. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting because there was
that water cooler makes really cold water.
That's delicious. I mean, this goes back 10, 12 years ago when I would say car TV was in its prime.
Yeah.
And then it all just kind of came to a grinding halt. You know, like all your Fast and Loud and American Chopper, American Hot Rod, Monster Garage, all that stuff that we grew up on that just stopped one day.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that, like, every show runs its course and runs out of fans at some point, but, like, it just stopped. Like the networks were just like, nah, we're done.
We're done.
And a lot of the speculation was like all this niche market stuff was going to go to streaming, right? And now here we are in a world where everything is streaming.
But so I think this is a point you're getting ready to make is if it's going to streaming, you have to pay an extra subscription to watch it.
Well,
and nobody did that. So then it all failed even harder and went to YouTube.
I would almost argue a lot of people did it and then got bored with it. Right, like
because we both did Motor Trend.
Right, we had an episode, or we do a whole episode where we basically shit on Motor Trend for canceling Dirt every day. But if you look at like all the original Motor Trend content, the Roadkill Garage, Dirt Every Day, all that started on YouTube.
Yep,
and then I would say, especially in the automotive sense, Motor Trend was really the first like specific streaming network for a type of content that was streaming only, and it was great. It was $5, and they put out content pretty consistently that was new and it was good and it was worth watching. And then Motor Trend basically, I would say it was successful to a point where Discovery was like, oh, wait, hey, we want that back.
Yeah.
And Discovery got involved in the streaming side of it. And then they went and bought a bunch of shows.
But I would argue with you that Motor Trend, when it was just the app before Discovery bought it, was still algorithm. There wasn't much, like, outside of Freiberger and Finnegan, there wasn't much creativity happening. It was the same style of build, just on different vehicles. Well, it wasn't anything fresh or new. Like, I think the last really cool thing that happened on Hot Rod, fucking not Hot Rod, Finnegan and Freiberger, Roadkill, god damn it, was Stubby Bob. I think Stubby Bob was the last unique thing that happened.
Well, I mean, even if you watch like current Roadkill episodes, like they know their formula, it works well.
Yeah.
So the thing I found really interesting, listening to Sent and Bent with Dave and Fred were one of the only shows on Motor Trend when they got canceled that had full creative control.
Yeah.
So Fred and Dave were the ones that said, these are the list of builds we want to do. And then production basically came in and said, this is what we can feasibly do with X budget. And I think a lot of the Roadkill shows, the Roadkill universe shows, were in that same idea of the people who were hosting it, right? Like Hot Rod Garage, when it was Lucky and Tony, they were the ones that were like, this is what we want to build. And there was somebody from corporate, essentially, some producer saying no. Yeah, let's go ahead and build it. This is how much money you have to build it. And I think all of it was great. And that's why that content was so good. But then when Discovery came in and now that wasn't their only content, they started buying shows from production companies, right? Like, and some of them were great. Like I really enjoyed, Jesus, I'm blanking on the name of the show. The bald guy that looks like Walsh that does hot rod stuff. He looks exactly like Walsh.
You lost me.
Anyway, great show. Basically a dude in his backyard building cool hot rods. And like super funky, like George Barris type hot rods. Like really cool stuff. But they eventually had a bottom line to hit where it didn't matter. Like Hot Rod Garage could look at it and go, we make this much money on your content from advertising, from plays, from subscriptions, whatever it is, to now we had to buy this show and now they're leaning on you essentially to make enough money to cover their expenses.
Yeah.
And they just kept running up expenses. Streaming is now it's not worthwhile for them to have their own platform. The apps start to get glitchy because the technology changes, the whatever it is. And now everything gets merged into the bigger family and it becomes a channel on a streaming service versus its own thing.
Which gets less attention.
Right.
Which gets less money.
And and now you're sharing that same $8-9 a month subscription is now shared between 200 shows versus 10.
Yeah, and then those 200 shows get narrowed down because they realize what does the best.
Right.
And then you lose your creativity because, hey, we know you want to build this fucking turbocharged 2-engine Impala, but it doesn't really work. I don't think it's going to sell that well, so we're not going to do it.
So the thing that's, I think, in the last probably
4 shows,
I would say like 3 or 4 years has been, and it's funny because I had this conversation with my wife last summer. If you like, we don't have cable. We do everything.
We don't either.
So if you factor in the cost of Netflix and Hulu and Prime and all the stuff that you pay for individually, you almost have a cable bill again.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people came to that realization because it was like, oh, streaming service. Here's $5. Here's Disney Plus. Here's a bundle for $15. Next thing you know, you're spending $200 a month on streaming services, and it's like, why did I get rid of cable? Like, what was the point, right? So I think a lot of people are now backing down their subscriptions, and
which is where we are. We have 3,
right,
and that's it.
Yeah, but that has, at least me personally, and I know there's a lot of people who can say the same. You turn to YouTube. It's free content. I'll sit and watch it.
It's YouTube is so free for me that I pay for it so I don't have to watch ads.
Well, but that's my point is
that's one of the 3 that we pay for is YouTube.
I don't even mind watching the ads because it's free, right? Like I don't care. It's 15 seconds and then you hit skip.
Yeah.
If anything, it keeps me awake. It keeps me from falling asleep on the couch because I got to skip the ads.
I definitely fell asleep on the couch last night watching Clater.
That's not right. I fell asleep watching YouTube too. But I think the corporations the media companies are trying to be a step ahead because they're seeing this transition into YouTube, right? So they're looking at these successful YouTube channels because there's a lot of money to be had on YouTube.
Oh, a ton.
If you're getting consistently millions of views and you're doing a weekly video, you are making a ton of money.
Yeah. I mean, look at Clater, look at Whistle and Diesel, look at all these other guys.
The Diesel brother guys have 5 different channels now. Like, and every channel is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views per video that's coming out once, twice a week. Like, they're making more money on YouTube than they ever did on cable. And it's great. It's awesome.
It also goes straight to the money there goes straight to the creator.
Well, so circling back to Donut, which is the most recent
brand. It's not a death, but it's also not. Well, I think we're verging on the edge of a donut death.
Yeah, I mean, so like,
which is wild because they were acquired in 2021. In 2021 is when Donut was acquired. This shit just came out because Zach and Jeremiah left.
So now I didn't watch their full video talking about leaving.
You're on top of the cable.
Yeah, I see it. Did they talk about why they left?
They did.
Okay.
Because when they were acquired, they were worried when they were acquired that they were going to lose creative freedom because the suits were going to come in and tell them, hey, that kind of works, that kind of doesn't. You can build this, you can't build that. And that's exactly what happened. And they were writers, so they were the ones having to write this stuff along with being the screen presence.
So I saw an article on Jalopnik, which is a pretty popular blog, we'll call it, for automotive content. There is some other perspectives of why they left. The creative control is, I'm sure, a factor. I forget the guy's name, and I probably could look it up, but I'm not going to. He was the guy who...
And that's why we're not getting bought by anybody.
Yeah, the guy who... Full
fucking circle, brother.
There's no money being made. He was a writer, producer, camera, backdoor guy for Donut.
Yeah, I think you're talking Jeremiah. Jeremiah Burton.
No.
Because Jeremiah Burton was...
Yeah, but Jeremiah was also in front of the camera.
He was hired to be in front of the camera, then he got put behind the camera.
Right. It's another guy. He did 136 videos for Donut over the last 3 years. Or 5 years, whatever it was. When they got bought out, they all became employees.
Yep.
So now that channel right? Like I think the going rate on a YouTube video with ads is like a cent per view or something if you're over 1 million.
Yeah, I think so.
So if you're doing 1 million views on 5 videos a month, you're making $500,000 a month. It's a crazy good business, right? So, and it takes a team of people to put that content out, to write that content, to produce it. Like it's not something you can do by yourself.
Well, especially the way Donut did it, is because they had scripted content. They're not like these other guys that are just out here doing random shit and recording it.
The problem that this guy refers to, the creative control is part of it, but when you're an employee, you're not getting profit sharing.
Correct.
So they get bought out. They're a $50,000 a year employee. Their video just made $100,000 in a week.
They're still making
$50,000 a year.
Correct.
So they're looking at it going,
especially like Donut. Donut had 10 million subscribers.
Right. So you have guys. You have these guys that are the face of your brand, looking at it going,
getting paid a salary.
Going, if I go home and do the exact same thing I'm doing every day for $50K a year, but I cut out the corporation, not just my friends, right? Like you still need a camera guy, you still need an editor, you still need parts. Like there's still an expense involved, but you could spend $100K a month in expenses and you're still going to pocket $400K,
which is wild because if you go and look at Big Time, which is the new Zach and Jeremiah, their new channel, in a week since they announced it, they have 1 million subscribers. Yep. So if they do that, if every one of the subscribers watches every one of their videos, which generally you have, like I was saying earlier, people listen and watch our shit, but don't subscribe. So if there's more people than subscribers watching it, they're going to be making $500,000 a month.
Yep.
Right off the bat.
And they don't have to share it with anybody.
Nope.
Right?
Like it's split by two of them.
They own it.
Building cars, doing cool shit.
I don't know. I mean,
and that's what Tony did too. Is Tony was in the same boat. Tony Angelo is he lost creative control.
His was a little bit different if you watch his video. I mean,
I just watched. Did he just do a video about why he left?
He did a few months ago.
Yeah,
but
it was pretty much the same thing. It was close enough.
Yeah, I mean, his was a little bit different because of he was traveling
traveling and family
because it wasn't like
issues
YouTube channel to YouTube channel. It was TV to YouTube, which is a little bit different.
Yeah,
because I would say in the TV world you're probably compensated better, and I think
probably,
and I think that's the interesting part about this transition into the YouTube content is companies are seeing the profitability in it, so they're going and buying existing stuff instead of starting something.
Yeah,
and that's the part I enjoy, as since we're kind of in this space, very small chunk of it,
very small chunk.
The
187 subscribers on YouTube. Hell yeah, brother.
Let's
make it 200.
The corporation, the media companies view it as YouTube is another streaming service, right?
That's what it is.
Yeah. But what they're not accounting for is that the people that they're employing are the brand, right? Like when you're on video and you're that personality, like people watch it because it's you. Not because it's Donut, right? You watch a video because it's James from Donut or Jeremiah or whatever. Like it's you're watching the people. You could care less the channel, because it doesn't cost me anything to go subscribe to another channel. I just want good content. I don't care what the name is. So I think that's lost, and I think the beauty of YouTube is those guys can quit their job and put their old job out of business.
Well, the thing that I'll say is I respect the hell out of Donut because Donut let Jeremiah and Zach promote their new channel in a Donut video.
Sure.
Which is awesome. I think that's super cool.
Because at the end of the day, like when you there's so much space for it. Just because they left and you have they now have their own viable business doesn't mean people are going to stop watching Donut.
Correct.
Right? Like they can go put somebody else who's equally as entertaining and knowledgeable and do the same videos, and people will still consume that content.
Well, and that's one thing that I love about like the off-road thing is like it's competition, but it's not competition. We all grow and we rise together.
Yeah.
The podcast thing is the same way. Is I've got friends that run podcasts, and I help support them, and they help support us. And if they grow, we grow because of the cross share and love. And that's the same thing with YouTube. Is I think the best way that's exemplified, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Great. Look at me knowing words. Fuck yeah.
You got smarter last night.
Strategery. How about that? Does that help?
We're back to norms.
Hell yeah, brother. is the best way that's exemplified is hell yeah, brother. You're listening to you're watching the Cletus McFarlane YouTube channel. Is Cleater fucking brings everyone together for the Freedom 500 every year, and they watch that. People are like, oh shit, that was cool. I've never seen Vice Grip Garage before. So then they run over there. They just add them to the rotation. Fuck, who is Ethan from fucking Grindhard? He was weird, but that's cool. We like him too. He's like, it's. I think it's a great platform to grow on, and I think that
the part that excites me, like I said, is it doesn't matter how much corporate shit comes into it. It will always be the same free space. Where the streaming apps or any like actual cable TV take the creative control side of it out of it. Like, did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
We're fucking up our words today, dude.
It's been a weird week.
I mean, we've already been talking for 3 hours today, so
it doesn't. It's proof that you don't need 100 producers. You don't need budgets. You don't need all of this stuff to make good content. People are going to find what they want to watch regardless of what you put in front of them. And
I love that this is our insight and we have the ability to make these videos. We just don't fucking make them.
Well, we don't really have the ability. We do.
We do. We got camera phones and we have GoPros.
That doesn't give us the ability.
We have free software.
That doesn't give us the ability.
We have the equipment. We don't have the ability.
Here's the thing I've learned as I pay more attention to it and I learn more about the people that I watch.
Oh, I just punched myself in the balls trying to fucking untuck my fucking paint from my.
And this is why we don't have the ability. There's so much more of a entertainment background to these guys than I thought there would be.
Oh yeah,
like Tony's video where he was like he moved to LA to get an acting job when he was done drifting.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't just a good mechanic with a personality that they put in front of a camera. He sought out the entertainment side of it, and that's how he ended up where he is.
Yeah.
Same with Dave Chappelle. Dave worked at a tuner shop in San Diego that was building cars for TV shows. Lucky was behind the scenes on overhauling.
Yeah.
Like these guys all have some sort of media and entertainment background that leads them to being good in content.
Hey, guess what? We've been doing a podcast for 2 years. We have
right, but
media and entertainment background.
Right, but at the same time, there's the TV background.
Correct.
Because like we're in this.
We're going in. If we start something, we're going in absolutely blind.
Right. So this is the beauty and the curse of YouTube is we, the people who barely know how to take proper video on a GoPro or camera phone.
We can't figure out a video podcast. How the fuck do we do an actual video?
We have to compete with media companies and people who have been filming and working in TV and movies for 15 years.
Yeah.
But YouTube is the equalizer because it doesn't matter. If you're entertaining, people will watch it. Right? Like that's the shift that I see is these corporations are buying the brand because of the brand it is, not necessarily for the content, right? Like Hoonigan was bought out because it's Hoonigan and everything has been merchandised and licensed. And now you walk into Advanced Auto Parts and there's Hoonigan stickers on the shelf, right? Like that is a brand. They didn't buy a YouTube channel. They bought Hoonigan as a brand.
Well, the same thing happened with Donut is I don't know if there's Donut stickers in Advanced Auto Parts, AutoZones. Right. You can go to the Zoomies and buy fucking Donut shirts.
But that's because that corporation that owns them needs more than $500,000 a month to stay afloat.
Yeah.
So that's where where those corporations see it is, hey, this brand is really profitable because of the following it has. It doesn't give a shit about the YouTube content. That's why they're happy. I shouldn't say happy, but that's why they willingly let those guys go, right? Because we don't need you. We're already in 250 stores nationwide, and we already have the 10 million subscribers.
And that's why merch, these brands push merch so much. And that's why we tried, is because merch is how you make a lot of money.
Right.
Is like all these giveaways. I know Grindhard is doing a new one. If you go spend $5 on their website, you get an entry. Every $5 is an entry to win a new dirt bike.
Yep.
And that's how all these giveaways work. Is the
$5,000 dirt bike is an expense, but they're gonna make $15,000 on the merch.
Yeah, and that's like, I think that's how these companies work. Because like a big company that does giveaways is like Omaze.
Yep. That's all they do.
They
that's their business model.
They get approached by these channels and say, hey, we want to do a giveaway, and then they look at their analytics and they say, hey, you do this much in merch sales, you could do this much. This is how much we'll approve for a giveaway car if you do this much in sales, and then that's how it works. It's like
I think
Street Speed 717. He's out of Pennsylvania, and he does the same thing. He does a fucking giveaway a month.
Yeah,
and it's just based off of merch sales.
I think that the Diesel brothers were the same way. Like they used to do the crazy truck builds, and they were you basically get to double and triple dip because you're getting the merch sales. You're now getting the content online that you're monetizing.
And people are paying to advertise for you,
right? And now because you have such a following, the expense to build that truck or buy that car, whatever, is cheaper because you're getting it discounted because that's advertising for the parts company that you're like. There's so many layers to it, but I also think the market in the automotive sphere is becoming a little bit flooded in that, where it's not as profitable as it used to be unless you're grindhard and you're 4 dudes in your garage in Idaho.
Yeah.
Like
3 dudes now.
3, yeah.
That sucks.
Fair.
I was sad to hear that. Will left. Nobody died. Will left.
Yeah. If you're not hardcore YouTubers. Grindhard is probably one of the best channels on YouTube right now. The best
channel.
Because it anyway.
I enjoy it. Like you're talking about your house builder that you like.
Yeah,
I fucking loved their series about building the new shop. Grindhard had a great series about building the new shop.
Yep. Actually, their series about building the shop is what got me the algorithm for the home builders.
Oh, fun.
That's way more of a side quest.
I like that Kayla coined that term. It's a good one.
I don't know. It's such an interesting perspective because it's so open and like nobody really knows what's going to happen, but I don't know, maybe this is just typical self-biasness, but like I feel like we grew up in the like cable is awesome, everything was on cable. Like Motor Mondays on Discovery Channel, Power Block on Sunday afternoons, like there was I could get all the content I wanted on cable TV as a kid, and that's why I'm where I am.
Yeah.
And it slowly transitioned. Like I remember working at the museum when YouTube was getting big and like hearing about roadkill and all this stuff, and I'm like, nah, I can't do the YouTube thing. Like, but it wasn't
until recently that I did.
Well, right, and it was a lot of it came down to the production because the YouTubers were GoPros and cell phones, which 15 years ago were not 4K, and it wasn't anything like cable. And cable still had the hold on it. And I think the networks realized it was all going internet. So they all tried to basically be their own YouTube, spent a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money. And now those companies are trying to get into YouTube because they see the profitability because 3 teenagers with a GoPro made $50 million over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait a minute. We've been doing this for 50 years. We can go make money. And it's like, whoa, that's not what it is. Like the market doesn't necessarily want cable TV on YouTube.
Well, and the market will show that.
Right.
Because that's the nice thing is the analytics are very obvious. Back to the merch stuff is, let me give you guys some inside baseball. Is we've tried to do the merch thing. Yeah, it didn't work very well. We're still trying. We still have a store. But the reason that like we do giveaways. I do a giveaway every time you leave a review.
Yeah.
And it's selfish. It's 100% selfish. I want to get you our stickers. I appreciate the review. But then when you take that sticker and you put it on your laptop, on your bike, on your car, someone walks up, they ask you what it is, it helps us advertise too.
Yeah.
I love giving you guys stickers. it's fun. I like seeing our shit in the wild.
Yep.
But that's how we're doing it right now until we can get a little bit bigger and we can actually my goal for 2024 was to monetize.
Yeah.
Is we're still a little ways off. I wrote all my ad reads. I just have not read them yet. I need to do that. I need to start laying into videos. It's just it's a full time crunch. Someone at work asked me about this the other day. They goes, "So tell me about your online blog that you do." I'm like, "It's not really a blog, it's a podcast." They go, "Oh, is it profitable? Like, do you do anything with it?" I'm like, "No, to be profitable, I would need to have no hobbies, and I would need
technically we are profitable.
Slightly profitable.
Still profitable.
Still profitable. We have $40 in the bank account. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, but that's because we spent it all.
Correct. We haven't been profitable this year.
No, because what have we spent this year?
But we also haven't done any advertising this year.
Again, to my point, that's I think the beauty of basic YouTube and basic podcasting and social media as a whole. It doesn't really cost you anything, right?
I think altogether we're $1,000 in our audio setup,
if that, and that's evolved over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and that's with that. No, I'm saying overall with the new microphones, the cables.
Yeah,
it's probably $1,000.
Right.
I'm $1,000 into a computer.
Yep. Which, again, you would own a computer regardless of the podcast.
Fair,
right? So it's one of those things where it's so easy to start it, and from a business standpoint, the margins are good because you only need $1,000 worth of equipment.
Not even that.
Right. Our first kit was what, $300?
Yep.
And we've talked about it. The reason we started the podcast was these conversations were happening just without microphones. So now
the only reason I realize I'm talking on a microphone right now is because my fucking hands cramping up.
Yeah.
This is a conversation Tom and I have had before.
Right. So I don't know. It motivates me to do more, but it's also such an interesting time to try and get into it.
Yeah.
Because now we are the three idiots with a GoPro competing against.
But that's fine. That's where you got to start somewhere.
I agree. And
I made that pitch too when I went to the Ultra 4 race last year with George. Is he had a guy that worked for him doing pumping shit. It's what George Schooley does. Yeah. He runs a septic company.
Yep.
So he had a guy that works for him, 18 years old. He was like, "Man, that's so it's so cool you do the podcast. I want to get into YouTube. I want to do all that stuff eventually." I'm like, "Do you have a cell phone in your hand?" He's like, "Yeah. What's up?" I'm like, "Let's just start recording right now. Put it together on DaVinci Resolve, which is my favorite one, or Adobe. I don't know what the Adobe video editing is, but DaVinci Resolve is free.
Yeah.
Is you can do this with the cell phone you have.
Yep.
Taking your
if you have an iPhone, it comes with iMovie.
Yeah.
Half the YouTube stuff is produced on iMovie because it's free and it's already loaded on the program.
Yeah. So it's super easy to start. And it's fun to see how it evolves and then it devolves and then it re-evolves.
Yeah, it's definitely a constantly changing. That's probably the one common denominator you hear from all of these guys is you can stay relevant if you pay attention. Where TV, and I think a lot of this comes down to the production side of it, TV, they did the same thing until it was dead.
Yeah.
Right?
And then it died and then people left and went to YouTube.
Right. Doing the same thing that they were doing on TV.
Well, doing the same thing they were doing on TV before they were told exactly what they had to do. Before they fell into the algorithm and fell into the method of build the car, wreck the car, build the car, wreck the car. But that's also why YouTubers go through so many cars. Is Gears and Gasoline did a video of it when they sold the Subaru WRX, the white one. I don't know if you watch Gears and Gasoline.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of it.
Ben.
Yeah.
They're both Ben.
Yeah, they're both Ben. But.
Ben did a whole video on why they were selling the Subaru after they just put $100,000 into it. He's like, because the content got stale.
Right.
You got to cycle through cars, and that's
at the end of the day, it's a business, right? It's that car in the car space, that vehicle is making you money, and if it stops making you money, it's useless to you.
Yeah.
Which, as a car guy, is hard to stomach, I think.
Oh, it's very hard to stomach.
But at the same time, the excitement.
Wait, you would have a problem selling a car?
No, not at all. But it's like
you fall in love with that car. You develop a relationship.
Finnegan does the same thing, right? He's giving away the Datsun that he just bought because he goes, the car's too good. It doesn't need anything, right? And like that's partly
there's no content
around it, right? Like he bought it, they road tripped it, it caught fire, they fixed it, and then he went, well, there's like I'm not gonna stuff a V8 in it. What am I gonna do with this? So, and you give it away, right? Yeah. Buy a bunch of merch and you can win the car.
Yeah, and then he's monetizing on that car again.
Right.
So,
and it's so interesting to me because like I wish I could un-ADD myself and like get into other aspects of like YouTube outside of just the car content.
Well, you are. You've got your house builder.
Yeah, I try to watch other.
My guilty pleasure, if you will, is I love fly fishing.
Okay.
Fucking what are the fly fishing ones I watch?
I gotta be in the right state of mind though to like get into like I'll watch Meat Eater.
Yeah.
Like Steve Ranella. Like never gone hunting in my life, and I absolutely love Meat Eater. But what it comes down to is that's a really well produced TV quality YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's there if I'm not interested in it to start, it's harder for me to get interested in it. And I think as great as that is, that's the beauty of it is I can go get exactly what I want when I want it, and there's no shortage. But I would be very curious to see, and I'm sure there are other industries that do have it, but I want to know, like, for construction, right? Like, does Toll Brothers have a YouTube channel?
Probably not.
Right. But
this guy does.
Well, no, but Ford's got a YouTube channel.
Fair.
Right? So, like, is it do we see this because that's what our market, the automotive enthusiast wants, that specific content, so that's why there's so much car content on YouTube, right? Like are there corporations that are running YouTube channels outside of the automotive industry?
Probably. Oh, definitely.
You think?
I'd assume so.
Because like Meat Eater is their own production company.
Yeah.
Ian Johnson's his own production company.
Yeah, the fly fishing ones I watch are their own production company.
So like there are like Onyx, right? That's a company that has their own YouTube channel. They hire Ian Johnson to produce their content, but that's a YouTuber producing YouTube. Like,
that's a good question. I don't know.
Are we going to run into venture capitalism buying YouTube channels, or is Ford going to start their own YouTube channel and hire guys out of Donut to be their personality on their channel? Like where does this corporate structure,
greed, we call it?
Yeah, but where does it become detrimental?
Yeah.
Right? Like right now I would say it's not really a problem for content, because if anything it's bringing good content, it's bringing more content, because the guys that like using Donut as the most recent, those guys built that channel.
Oh, from the ground up.
It does not matter the shirt, the name of the channel, whatever it is. You're going to watch that content because it's the same content you're used to, just on a different channel, right? That's not a bad thing. That's the rising tide raises all ships thing. If there's more of this with the same people, I'm going to watch it, right? I'm just going to spend more time consuming content. But, with YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Reels and all this stuff, that's the big focus for these companies, because that's quick.
Yeah,
so you're consuming more content, and it's on more platforms. It's more monetization. I like the long form stuff. I know you like the long form stuff.
I've actually put a timer on all my social media apps, so I can't, because I will get sucked into the short form stuff. Like I'll spend.
Yeah.
I turned my timer off yesterday because on Thursday, because I wanted to watch the debate. I turned my timer off. I had to watch it on X because I was watching the RFK one. And then I turned it off in the morning, so I remember that I wanted to do that. I looked at my screen time, and I had spent like 3.5 hours on Instagram, Facebook, X, and Reddit.
Yeah.
That's fucking a sixth of my day. It's a lot of 3 hours is a lot of time to be just fucking staring at my phone, looking at short form stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in that specific case where that's all you're doing, yeah, 3 hours is a lot. Like I average like 5 to 6 hours of screen time per day, but that's email, that's text messaging, that's Facebook Messenger for the shop, that's scrolling for parts or looking up gear pattern
God, some other
diagrams.
dangerous places, Facebook Marketplace, but we'll get back to that one.
But that's like there's, it's. I hate being the guy that says it's become necessary, but at the end of the day, like 3 hours of entertainment is not a lot of time.
No,
like, and that's at the like if you could go back to before your smartphone, you definitely spent more than 3 hours watching TV.
Yeah.
On a Saturday as a kid.
Yeah. So right? The thing I have to remind myself is if I'm going to be on social media for 3 hours, be a creator, don't be a viewer. Is my thing. Is like we have. I mean, you and I and Trevor and PJ, we all have something to promote. We've got this cool brand.
Yeah.
That we can promote. PJ Pomada Photography. He's got all this shit. Mm-hmm. So like, when I find myself on social media, I enjoy the content, but I am disappointed in myself because I spent 3 hours consuming when I could have spent 3 hours creating.
Right.
To promote our brands.
Sure. And I think that's a healthy way to look at it. And I think the struggle becomes at that point, you're now working 100% of the time.
I know.
And that's like, as somebody who does tend to work 90% of their day, like it's hard to turn off, but that 3 hours of content is my time away from work.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm not the person that sits and scrolls my phone with the TV on. Like if I'm watching something on TV, like I tend to watch it. So like I'm not getting that like overstimulated back and forth. And this is definitely, I just realized how like contradictory and this whole episode's an oxymoron. We're sitting here promoting YouTube and talking about how we want to be on YouTube, but then we're also telling people to not spend all day on their phone.
I say that I like the first time I said this was to Peyton Dumford.
Yeah.
Is I'm like, hey, you're doing something really fucking cool. You need to get on social media.
Sure.
Also at the same time, avoid social media because it's
right.
a toxic pit.
Right.
Is you need to promote yourself on social media so you can grow your following and grow your base and get out there. But also, you need to not be on social media because that's how you... That's where, for me, that's where my drive to do things gets lost because I fucking open Instagram. I'm scrolling reels, doing nothing for 3 hours.
I think there's definitely a bit of a transition that we're going through now where I think the content creation side of it is some people's excuse to be on it.
Yeah.
Where
I know how much it takes. I made a post. The fuck post did I make? I was at the gym making a post on the treadmill. I'm like, I have to make a post today. Let me see which one it was because I'll remember it by looking at it. It was the Zanesville Blunder one, the one I posted on June 18th.
Yep.
So when I'm working out, I do my different workouts. I was doing my cardio day. I was on the stair stepper for 15 minutes doing this one stupid picture and the captions and all the tags that got 30 likes. Took me fucking 15 minutes to post a picture.
See, this is where it's all about perspective, because at some point that 15 minutes has a much bigger payoff.
Correct. No, you're right.
So,
I agree.
So like, yeah,
but that's for a picture. If I'm doing our AI audio clips through Opus Pro, it takes me like 2 hours to put one of those clips together between the caption, going on Canva and making a picture to lay over it, everything else. Like it
this
just
goes
takes
back
forever.
To the start of this conversation and the ability. If you were better at it, it wouldn't take you as long.
Fair, and you need to do it more to get better at it.
I'll disagree in the fact that there comes a point in a learning process where there is a natural skill set that's going to top out, right? Like not everybody can do everything. You can teach somebody something, but whether they retain it or whether they're good at it is more of a natural selection than it is a training process. I think good teachers, good trainers, simple things can unlock things that are there, but like I'll use AK as an example.
Horrible driver. Good intention. Is that where you're going?
Sort of.
Love you, buddy.
We've known AK for what, 7 years, 8 years at this point. And from the day I met him and started working on his Jeep, all he told me was, I want to learn how to do this myself. I want to learn how to do this myself. And I've taken the time. I've taught him what these parts do, how to do an oil change, whatever. Like, just the simple things. The month before we leave for Moab, he's trying to assemble a Rotopax mount
that fell off on Butte Towers.
Not his fault. Not his fault. But he says to me, he goes,
I always forget, like of that trip, I don't think we told that story. That was fucking hilarious. We're bombing, like not bombing down. We were setting a good pace.
Cruising, and it's
cruising
like,
down. And all of AK stops. They're calling across the go.
So good.
I can't do his accent. PJ and Trevor here.
Yeah, it's a PJ thing.
He's like, I lost my Rotopax.
I lost my Rotopax.
Like, what do you mean you lost your Rotopax? The whole fucking mount ripped off.
He's putting that thing together, and he can't figure it out. And I look at him and I say, did you read the instructions? And he's like, yeah. And he pulls out the instructions, and I glance at them, and I'm like, you missed step 2. And he's like, what? I was like, you said you read the instructions. Yeah. Step 2 is to put this together before you mount it to the vehicle. Why'd you mount it to the vehicle already? Oh, I just need like a 6-month internship, and then I'll figure this out. I'm like, AK, you've had an 8-year internship, and you haven't figured out shit. Have you improved? Yeah, because 8 years ago you didn't even own tools. Now you have a toolbox, and if I said
we used,
yeah,
on the
and I was
trail.
like, and if I said hand me a 3/8 ratchet, you know what a 3/8 ratchet is. That's an improvement. You're just not cut out for this, and that's okay. Like not everybody is. It's natural to me because it's what I'm good at, right? It just makes sense. It's not just cars.
Yeah,
I take shit apart all the time and figure out how to put it back together.
And the thing that like just being naturally good at it is something I feel I have with more experience and time doing YouTube and short form stuff. It's just I don't have the time in my life currently to get better at it.
Sure.
Which we've talked about
right.
growing our brand and how we need to
right.
allocate time to do things.
That's why I make that argument of you have other priorities.
Correct.
I have other priorities. Trevor's other priorities. PJ's other priorities. None of us have real world experience in social media marketing or like. I'll make the argument. PJ's very good at it.
He is.
Like PJ's naturally good at seeing something and understanding what. Oh, like I think people will like this, or how to get people attracted to things. Like he is naturally good at it, and I think in the right setting, if he had the time to put into it, he would be really good at it. And what takes you 15 minutes might take him 3. And I think that's where the difference lies. Is it's not necessarily that you're bad at it; it's just that there are people who are better. And the people who are better are the ones that succeed. Yeah. So it's like, it takes you 15 minutes. It's frustrating to you. You feel like you're wasting your time. You don't gain the confidence in it. And it becomes a back burner thing. It's not.
Which is why our Moab video that I'm going to put together eventually is going to come out at Christmas.
Yeah. It's just, it's the cycle of being successful in anything. And I think the fact that YouTube is as flooded as it is what makes it harder to break into because you get no return for the effort you put in to start. Like you basically have to go until I get really, really good at this or find somebody who's really good at this to help me. I'm going to get nothing out of it. And you have to just waste your time. And that's the struggle. Like we're good at podcasting. We're good at talking.
We're okay at it.
I think we're good at it at this point.
Fair.
The marketing side of it is the hard part. Yeah. And without the marketing side, your opportunities become a little bit more limited.
Yeah, I agree. Let me give a plug for ourselves. Is you guys know our brands, you guys know who we are, you guys know how bad we are at social media. If you're out there and you want to grow a brand, you don't know what, like, how to grow, don't know how to grow your brand, but want to attach yourself with a brand to grow, I would love if you guys would want to help us grow our social media, and we can talk about how you helping us grow our social media grows us together, like grows you into the Dirt Nerds and helps us grow our brand together. It's like we need help. We capture all the content we need. Tom owns a shop where the bay is content. We just don't capture it. Yeah. We just need to figure out how to put it out.
Yeah, and that's I mean it's on the list. Like, I mean there's 1,000 things on the list, but like it's part skill set, it's part time and bandwidth. Yeah, at times not even the word. It's bandwidth. It's bandwidth because like yeah, I have an hour a day that I could go film something, but that hour, if I like fill that hour, something else is gonna suffer somewhere.
So for me, I was doing more YouTube videos and more stuff at my old job. Yeah. Now I spend 8 hours a day behind a computer screen.
Well, yeah.
I still enjoy producing the podcast. Like, don't get me wrong, but I have to mentally take time out of my day now to sit down and produce the podcast because I don't want to be up behind a computer when I get home.
Why do you think the YJ's been in my garage for a year and a half?
Yeah, because you wrench all day. Yeah. When you get home, you don't want to wrench.
Yeah, which is again on the list. But
as we wrap up, let me ask you guys a few questions who are on the other side. Would you guys like us to see more YouTube content? Because it is something I have the ability to do and I can do.
Yeah.
They're not going to be long videos. They'll be short videos, less than 10 minutes getting started.
Yep.
But we will put them out, and we can put them out. Is we have camera phones, we'll do it. It's easy enough.
Yeah.
Tom can take a video and send it to me. I'll put my intro clip on it that I made last year and fucking put it out. And it'll be shitty, but it'll be content, and if you guys want it, we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
The other idea I've had, which I'm going to pitch to Tom right now.
Oh, live.
Live from future past.
Breaking news.
We are going to Overland Expo this year.
Oh, okay.
I was planning on it. We had a great time last year. We met a bunch of cool people. Were you not planning on going to Overland Expo?
What are the dates?
I don't fucking know. It's in my calendar.
As long as it's not my wedding anniversary, I'm fine.
Let's look.
Because it does tend to fall on my wedding anniversary, which
October 4th and 5th and 6th.
Thank God. We're good.
So
we'll be at Overland Expo.
Tom's committing. I'm committing. We will be at Overland Expo.
Sorry, love. I love you. Don't kill me, future past.
We're also trying to go to PRI. So if you want to be at PRI, let us know.
Yeah.
I have an idea for Overland Expo that I've pitched to literally no one. We met Chris last year, the guy from New Jersey that flew down and got a speaking spot somehow.
Okay.
Would you like me to reach out to Overland Expo and try and do a live podcast one a night for 3 nights? I'm thinking we get like Zach Deal, we get the guy from Overland Expo, and we get someone else. We do a live podcast on their stage at Overland Expo. I've reached out to no one. This is just a pitch. Like, I still need to pitch it to Overland Expo. I still need to reach back out to Zach if he wants to be on again. He may fucking hate us because I compliment his eyes.
Doesn't hate us. He hates you.
I don't know. Like this is just a pitch. If you guys, to our listeners, if you would show up and come to our live podcast at Overland Expo, let me know. What do you think, Tom?
Conceptually, I love the idea. Logistically,
I don't know how
3 podcasts in 3 nights might be a little tough.
Okay, maybe not 3. Maybe we just do one and do one from the campsite again.
I have some ideas. I don't necessarily want to
air them,
discuss them on air, but
it could be fun.
I like where this is going,
and it's back to marketing. Is we're in Virginia. People don't really know us in Virginia. Yep. I think we have a bigger audience outside of Virginia. But it puts us in front of our market.
I would say no. I think we're actually pretty equally spread, which I think is surprising. Every time we get a member in the forum or somebody messages us and they're like, "Oh yeah, I listen in California." I'm like, "How the fuck did you find us?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I like where your head's at.
I'll start putting wheels down and like reaching out to people.
Yeah.
I have the guy to reach out to.
Yeah. Yeah. Hit up Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We can try something.
Could be fun as fuck.
Could be.
I don't know. Like logistically, our soundboard, I don't know how we make it work with speakers, but I could figure it out. I have a guy at Sweetwater that I could tell him what we have and what we want to do. And he could say, "Hey, you need this." And we could make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. We can I don't know. We can discuss. I have some ideas.
Let us know if you guys would be interested in coming to Overland Expo and seeing us do a live podcast with cool people.
Yeah.
We're about it.
Yeah.
Is I want to get out and do more things, and I think that could be a fun thing to do. Also, we will not be at 24 Hours of Appalachia, which is happening in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But we wish we could be. Jed, I hope you're doing good, man. I hope you're out there, just experiencing you're getting to witness the event that you put together.
Just getting outdoors.
Other than that, I think I'm done rambling. Let us know,
This was a lot of rambling today.
Yeah, I think it was good rambling. Let us know if you guys want to see us on YouTube, and if you guys want to see us.
What content. I mean, so that's the beauty of, I think, what we do and who we are. We can literally give you everything from how-to videos all the way up to entertainment and wheeling videos. Yeah. So if you want to see a little bit of everything,
we can do whiskey tutorials.
We could come in and do whiskey tastings and scotch tastings. We can get Trevor doing cooking videos.
We can do anything.
Have you ever watched what the hell's the guy's?
Let's close
YouTube
out.
No, the cowboy guy that does cooking out of his old restored chuck wagon.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, he's great. He's got the big old cowboy mustache, and I watched a video on 2-ingredient campfire biscuits. Oof.
I am hungry too.
Yeah.
Go follow us everywhere social at the Dirt Drive, DirtNerds Motors. Shout out to the whole reason I wanted to do this episode was Jeremiah and Zach Job. Go follow them. They're big time.
Yeah, if you like the car, if you like any car content, if you're a gearhead.
I don't know. Tom, what do you got to say?
DirtNerds Off-Road Forum is the best place to tell us this stuff.
Yeah. Or comment on the YouTube videos. I get that too.
Yeah.
But DirtNerds Off-Road Forum is really the best spot.
Yeah, we try and do discussions, and I'll put up polls every once in a while.
But like we said earlier, we suck at social media.
Yeah. I think I would like it better if there was interaction.
Yeah.
Like I would be more willing to spend that 3 hours having a conversation with people about something we've talked about or something we're going to talk about, whatever. Like I got roasted in the forum a couple years ago. If you've gone far enough back about mashed potatoes,
hell yeah, brother. That was this year, wasn't it? That was Thanksgiving this year.
Was it?
It's all blending together. Yeah, this is only our second Christmas.
6 months ago.
6 months ago it was this year.
It feels like so much more.
It was called mashed potato wars.
If you go far enough back into the podcasts and you have an opinion about mashed potatoes, let us know.
Fuck, I was gonna find it just to let you know where mashed potatoes was, because I feel like it wasn't that far. I feel like it was 86. Not that the episode matters. No, episode numbers matter.
Was it really this past Thanksgiving? No,
mashed potato wars was November 21st, 2023. It was this past Thanksgiving.
Oh my god,
mashed potato wars. Hell yeah, brother. All right, that's enough for us today. We've been rambling. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you gays. We appreciate you guys. Everyone out there who listens. It's Tom being disappointed in me. I'm used to that sound. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week. Yes, we will. Yeah. Talk to you next week.